Hey, welcome back to another episode of Simple Truth Television. Today is September 22nd, 2021. Today marks the 5-year anniversary since the news of the rapper Shawty Low came out. The news of his death at the age of 40. The rapper from Atlanta who died in a car crash after leaving a nightclub. So, we're going to revisit this story and talk about the ritual behind the death of Shawty Low. Very young, died at the age of 40, supposedly. You know, all this stuff is allegedly because we don't know for sure if these people are actually dying by the numbers or faking their deaths by the numbers. But we do know they're dead in the world of entertainment, that's for sure. So let's start with the CNN headline that day. So just turn this off for a second. So if you notice up here, the news broke on September 22nd, the next day. September 22nd, 2016, that was the day with 67 numerology. And most of you should know by now that blood sacrifice and human sacrifice equates to 67. So they didn't announce the death right away. They waited till the day with 67 numerology. And the headline says that rapper Shawty Low dies in car crash at age 40. Rapper Shawty Low, known for his song They Know and an abandoned reality TV show about the mother of his 11 children, died Wednesday after a car crash in Atlanta. His manager told a local radio station. He was 40 years old. The Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed his death to CNN. The official cause of death is pending. Why would the cause of death be pending if he died in a car crash? Born Carlos Walker, the Jonesboro, Georgia native, was a founding member of the group D4L, whose song Laffy Taffy peaked at number 1 on the Billboard 100 chart in 2006. So, died in a car crash, but they don't know his cause of death. Hilarious. Okay, so look. So according to his grave here, let's see if I can put this picture bigger. There you go. It says here that he was born on March 22nd. That stands out right away, 322. March 22nd, 1976. He was born Carlos Walker. Isn't that a familiar name? Paul Walker. And then he died on the 21st of September, 2016. And it's funny how in his grave they put the two cars. Oh my gosh. It's just so obvious what they're doing here. But notice from his 40th birthday to the day he died 183 days after his birthday. And his name, he was born Carlos Rico Walker, 183. You know, the name Carlos Walker, it reminds me of Paul Walker, who died in 2013, who also died in a car accident. And I want you guys to notice how old Paul Walker was when he died. He was 40 years old, just like our friend Carlos Walker. What are the odds of that, right? Two mainstream celebrities died at the age of 40, both died in a car crash. But I think what brings these two together is the rapper T.I. Because T.I. is not only linked to Shawty Low, they're both from Atlanta, they're both from the same city, they're both from Bankhead. But T.I. is also synced up with Paul Walker because he made a music video for Fast and the Furious. So I'm going to bring all this stuff together in a second, but let's talk about T.I. for a second. Because no doubt Carlos Walker's death is connected to T.I. I mean, both of these rappers are from Bankhead, the city in Atlanta. They used to have beef. If you're familiar with these two, Shawty Low and T.I. had beef because Shawty Low claimed that he was the king of Bankhead, and T.I. was also claiming that he was the king of Bankhead. So they always had this back and forth beef over who was the king of Bankhead. But it was a moment in their careers where they squashed the beef and they became friends again. And then Shawty Low ended up dying. So I don't know how friendly they was, but the news they called it a hit and run. They called his death, the car crash, a hit and run. So whoever hit Shawty Low left the scene. Notice the gematria of hit and run is 46, like sacrifice. The day that Shawty Low was killed, that was the day with 46 numerology as well. And Bankhead is also 46. So that stands out right there. But notice this. T.I. was born Clifford Joseph Harris, and his full name in gematria, it equates to 219, like the day that Shawty Low was murdered on September 21st, 21/9, like 219. Isn't that strange? And then Shawty Low died just a few days before T.I.'s upcoming birthday that year. So this was this is some images from the news reports. It says here that Delhi hit and run. I don't know if you guys can see the time, because the news does this a lot. You know, the time that they report a news is always very suspicious to me. Notice that they started talking about the rapper Shawty Low at 6:02, like how Sacrifice is 62, hit and run is 46, and Sacrifice is 46 and 62. These numbers that they put up on the screen are just very suspicious. And so Delhi hit and run. This was the vehicle he was traveling in, an Audi A7. I was trying to make out what the plate says, but I do see the number 88 and the rapper's 88, but I can't see what the rest of it says. Yeah. But okay, so T.I. had a music video back in 2015, I think it was. Let me see. T.I. Fast and the Furious. I don't think T.I. was in the film Fast and the Furious. I could be mistaken about that. If he was, then I think that's the big piece of the puzzle that I'm missing. But let's see. Because I'm not really a fan of the movies Fast and the Furious. So I know this for a fact. He had a song with Young Thug called Offset, which was on the Furious 7 soundtrack. That was the last film that Paul Walker was in, Furious 7. Again, Paul Walker died at the age of 40. Carlos Walker also died at the age of 40. And they both died in car accidents. And they are both linked to T.I. because Shawty Low is from the same city. They were friends. His death was synced up with T.I.'s as well. Right? T.I.'s full name is 219, like the day that Shawty Low was murdered. And T.I. is also synced up with Paul Walker because he had this song, Offset, which featured on the soundtrack to Furious 7, the last film that Paul Walker was in. Now, I don't know if T.I. was actually in the film. That's the only part of the piece of the puzzle that I'm missing. I don't know if he was in that film. He probably was, and then that would make a lot more sense why they took out Shawty Low at 40 to pay tribute to Paul Walker. Let's see. Some other things we could talk about. Georgia. A lot of rituals come out of Georgia with a lot of killings, because Georgia has that gematria of 44, like kill and execution. So, an Atlanta rapper killed in Atlanta. Most of the news sources that day, they was calling his accident a Fury crash, which equals 112. And like many times, every time these big name rappers pass away, they always sync them up with the upcoming championship game. Because if you notice, Fury crash in gematria equals 112. Shawty Low died right before the 112 World Series that the Chicago Cubs won over the Cleveland Indians that year. And Chicago Cubs is 46, like hit and run, like sacrifice. Again, Shawty Low died on the day with 46 numerology. And notice in gematria, Shawty Low is also 42. Watch this. Watch this. It's just crazy how they sync this up with the sports games. These people are something else. You guys notice how Shawty Low, and Shawty Low is 33, like ATL, like how Atlanta's on the 33rd meridian. But Shawty Low is 42. The 112 World Series ended in Game 7 on November 2nd, 11-2. The 112 World Series ends on 11-2. So look, 2016. The World Series that year ended on 2016 on November 2nd. 42 days after his death. And Shawty Low is 42. Right? And Fury crashes 112. This was the 112 World Series. Look. So the World Series, this was when the Chicago Cubs broke that 108-year drought. 108. You know what? I saw the 108 earlier. I'm gonna have to go back in my notes because 108, that was the big major league number. But notice that series with Chicago and the Indians, it went to Game 7. Chicago won on November 2nd to close out the 112 World Series on 11-2. 42 days after Shawty Low's death, and Shawty Low's 42, like, you know, the N-word in slavery. 108. Now I want to know what's that, because I saw 108 earlier, and now I'm thinking like, okay, it makes sense, because is it Shawty that's 108? No. Or is it Carlos Walker? Yeah, I saw 108 earlier. But notice his full name, Carlos. Just write it the right way. He was born Carlos Ricos Walker. It's 183, just using the alphabetic order. He died 183 days after his birthday. But there's definitely a 108 in there. I don't remember exactly what it was. But the Cubs that year, they broke the 108-year droughts. And that's a big baseball number because Major League is 108. There's 108 double stitches on the baseball. The Cubs haven't won a World Series in 108 years before they won on November 2nd. So his death was synced up with the World Series. And also his death was also synced up with the Super Bowl. Because the Super Bowl that the Patriots won over the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta, where Shawty Low's from. You guys remember when Tom Brady had the 25-point comeback? You know, deficit 25 on 2-5. Now look at this. These people are something else. See, he died on September 21st, 2016. Tom Brady remember he had that 25-point comeback over the Falcons on 2-5, and the Pope was there, and I think Falcons is 25, and the game was on 2-5. That game was on 2-5, 2017, which was 138 days after Carlos Walker's death. And Carlos Walker is 138. And again, it was the Atlanta Falcons that lost. You know, Atlanta where Shawty Low's from. These people are something else. I mean, they killed these rappers. And then they just for a sports game that's rigged for 2 sports games. Oh, man. You know, there's a big connection with Paul Walker and Carlos Walker that I'm not able to piece together 100% because I don't know if T.I. was in that film. I do know about the music video, but that's all I know. I don't know about any other film that T.I. has been. I'm not a fan of T.I. I don't like his music. I don't like anything about him. I actually like Shawty Low way more than I like T.I. But but this stands out in a big way. I mean, Clifford Joseph Harris, 219. His arch rival from Bankhead dies on 21/9. Mr. T.I. has some explaining to do. Oh boy. My friend Carlos Rico Walker dies 183 days after his birthday at the age of 40. Yeah, so maybe you guys that are watching the video can do some further research and help me out with this Fast and Furious connection. Leave a comment. Let me know what's going on. Because what are the odds that these 2 Walkers died at the age of 40 and both died in car accidents, and they are both linked up with T.I.? I'm not calling that a coincidence at all. I don't think that is a coincidence. But these are all the Fast and the Furious films. There was one that came out in 2017, but this was the last one on 2015 that Paul Walker was in. So, you know, there has to be a connection with one of these two films, Furious 7 or The Fate of the Furious. And you guys saw what they had on the gravestone? Yeah, 2 cars. Why? it's like the Fast and Furious movie. Why do they have toy cars on top of the man's grave? For what reason? Shawty Low, King of Bankhead. Oh, and then his most popular song, They Know, is 97, Like Death. Yeah, his most popular song that he was remembered for is They Know. They Know is 97. Now, watch this. They Know came out on August 22nd, 2007, on 228. And Death is also 228. And the name of the song is 97, like how Death is also 97. Now, I don't know what these lyrics mean because these people, they talk different. People from Atlanta, they have a different way of talking. So I don't really understand. I like the beat, I like the song, but I don't understand what they're talking about. But notice his first verse. He says, "Shorty low, I got flavor." I mean, 90% of the people probably don't even know what that means. I know he probably means swag. That's probably what he means. But let you know the kid got paper. And then he says, like 40, don't savor. See, I don't know what that means. But the fact that he brings up that number 40 and then he ends up dying at 40, that makes me wonder what's going on with that. It's like, what is the meaning of this verse? Like 40, don't savor, bankhead, been pulling capers. I don't know what none of that stuff means. But it sounds cool. But I think, you know, he could have spoke about any other number, but he puts that 40 right in that verse. And he ends up dying at 40. That's strange to me. Because, you know, he doesn't talk about any other numbers in that song. Yeah, so these people, they have a strange way of communicating through their music. And, I mean, their music is still fire, though. I like it. But I don't understand the lyrics at all. I got flavor. I mean, nobody in New York uses that term. I mean, who is he? What does that mean? Like 40, don't savor. What does that even mean? So yeah, so that stands out. But what stands out even more than that is the fact that they put out this song on 22/8, like 228, and Death is 228. And the name of the song is 97, like Death. And They Know it's also 34. You guys saw the 34 in there? You know, Rapper Murder is also 34. Let me see the correct spelling, but equals. The correct spelling equals 121, like Blood Sacrifice. The correct spelling equals 40. Wow. Oh my gosh. The correct spelling equals 40 and 121, like Blood Sacrifice, and he died at 40. Illuminati confirmed. Illuminati confirmed. They Know is 40, like his age of death. Somebody says he's talking about E40. I mean, why he didn't say E40? He said like 40. I mean, do they call E40 40? I never heard them call E40 40 before. Oh, so you're saying that E40 has a song called Don't Save Her. Okay, well, that makes sense. Captain Saberhaw. Okay, well. But, you know, it's very slick how you put that 40 in there, though. And the name of the song is also 40. Dead at 40. So that was a clever way of talking about the number 40, letting people know that he was gonna end up dying at 40. You know, yes, he does. He is talking about E40 in the song Captain Saberho. I do see that, but you know, there's a reason he left out the E and said, you know, like 40, because he was gonna be dead at 40. And notice the correct spelling is they know, which equals 40 in the most pure cipher. Now I'm interested in knowing about Mr. E40. Let's see. E40 was born November 15th. He died 311 days after E40's birthday, the 64th prime number, and of course, kills 64. Also died a span of 55 days, or 56, a full span of 56 days before E40's birthday. You know, sacrifice is 55. And E40 was born the day leaving 46 days in a year. It's a good point. You know, somebody says maybe they know me. It's a reference to the movie They Live. It's possible. Let's look it up. They Live release date came out November 4th. You imagine this film would have came out on September 21st? All right, well, I guess we covered most of it. Rest in peace to the legendary Shawty Low. Shame on T.I. for keeping his conspiracy a secret. I got flavor. All right, well, I'll end it there. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Rest in peace, Shawty Low, and everybody else that we will hear about in the near future. Enjoy your Wednesday, everybody.